Hello all and welcome to another video in my journey to 1 million gamerscore series, and with June 2022 done and in the history books, it is indeed time to bring to you all of the gamerscore that I got in that month. And it was a good month, it was a very good month, because we got just over 25,000 in gamerscore, and that's leaving us just under 20,000 away from the magic 1 million. It's in touching distance, it's so close, it's almost there. That's almost hard to believe, but yes, we are nearly there. And of course, when that million is set up with one achievement to go, ready to pop, we will be streaming that moment here live on YouTube, so do look out for that. And while we're talking about streaming, just want to say a big thank you to everybody who heard my advertisement about me streaming on Twitch in my last update, popped across and followed us, because I only had 9 followers when I made that little announcement, and now I've got 25, which is a massive jump for me. That's absolutely amazing, so thank you very much. If you're not one of those 25 and you do want to come join us on Twitch when I do achievement hunting streams and talk achievements, then please do. The link will be in the description below to my Twitch channel, so do please pop across and give us a follow there. Now, before we carry on with the games, just one milestone I want to mention that's happened, which I'm very, very happy about achieving, and that is I've hit 900 days now with a streak of getting achievement at least once a day for every one of those 900 days. So it's a 900-day streak of getting at least one achievement a day that I've hit and passed, because it happened during June. So we're a little way on the way to the 1,000 days, which is something I'll be really happy to get to. So hopefully I can keep it up and keep remembering to get an achievement every day and hit that 1,000 day streak, which will be pretty amazing, and I'll be so proud of if I can get there. But anyway, let's pop across to the gaming tab now and talk about the games of the gamerscore that I indeed got in July. We're doing July soon. That I got in June. So let's scroll down and find the first game, because I like to do these in chronological order as always. It actually started with one achievement in Forza Horizon 5, one quick 20G achievement, because I needed to get an achievement in 1 of 10 games for some reward points. So I chose Forza Horizon 5 and popped one of the achievements I hadn't got, quick 20G out of that. Right, so above Forza Horizon 5 is a completion, a 2000G. I actually had this in my backlog, which I'd bought on the cheap, and it was at 1000G when I bought it, and it got updated to 2000G before I even started it. So that was a nice little extra surprise for me. And it's Limb Hunter, and I must say I actually kind of really enjoyed this game. It's a bit of a platforming run and gun with a bit of a Metroidvania element to it, and even a little bit of RPG element to it as well, because you have to upgrade your limbs, hence Limb Hunter. You collect coins, you go to stations, you can upgrade your limbs, your legs, your arms and your head. You know, your arms are your guns and your head is your armour, and all sorts of things, and they sort of balance your character out, make him stronger in some areas and things like that. It's actually a lot of fun, this game. Now, you can find guys on YouTube that will map it out for you and make it a little bit quicker for you, but to be honest with you, that 2000G shouldn't take long. One achievement is to beat the first boss, but once you've learned those patterns down, it's not too difficult, but it's a little skill dependent there. But don't expect to take more than an hour, I say, to get that full 2000G out of it. Just read the list, know what to do. I mean, there is an achievement for upgrading your legs, upgrading your arms and upgrading your head, or changing them, which you think you'd have to buy something to do, but you can actually click on the one you've already got and it'll actually unlock all of those achievements. But a fun game. I really did enjoy it, but you can get it done in under an hour. Okay, above that is Nowhere Girl, which is a visual novel, and I did use a guide for this. If you use a guide for this, I used the one by Achievement Lad. It's really good. It is bang on, because there are alternative endings, so you might need to make a save and do this and go somewhere else and all that. But the guide on Achievement Lad is so good that I was able to do this game in under 10 minutes just listening to it, because you will change a few settings first to help speed things a little along a bit. And the good thing about a visual novel guide is generally you don't need to watch it, you can listen to it. And the guide that they made, Achievement Lad, was so bang on, I didn't need to watch it, I could just listen to it, and I'm pressing everything as it's happening, so I'm keeping up with it, no pausing needed. Fantastic guide, 1000G in under 10 minutes. Super easy. And talking about super easy, we'll go up here and we've got Brainstorm Tower Bombard side by side with the Windows 10 stack. Now, I went into this without looking at any guides or anything like that. All of the achievements are visiting X amount of rooms and dying X amount of times. So you have to visit 20 rooms, and I think you have to die 20 times as well. Obviously, dying is easy. You just find a good spot and keep visiting that spot and dying. I think if you head right immediately and go into the room to the right and then keep going right, there's something that will kill you there. So all of the dying is not a problem. It's very easy to visit about 13 rooms, and then you you will struggle a bit. It wants you to work things out and do things like that. And I must admit, I got a little confused as to what to do. Sort of like a top-down maze game. But what I did learn after I did the first one, which made the second one super quick, I think I took about 15 to 20 minutes because I didn't realise that if you quit out of your game completely, don't continue your game, but quit out of your game completely, start a complete fresh new game, it will start counting rooms again. So as soon as I learned that, all of a sudden that completion, which took about 20 minutes, then become an easy, quick, like 5-minute completion, because you visit as many rooms as you can, and then once you get a bit stuck or it takes too long to find a room, you just quit out, start your game again quickly, and then you can hit a load of other rooms, and you don't need to visit as many because you've done over 10, say, in your first run. So I think 13 was the amount I did in my first run, so I just had to pop in and find 7 rooms and then die what, 20 times again. I think the top amount is, let's have a look, because why not, open 20 new rooms, 15, there you go. You only need to die 15 times as the maximum. So yeah, it's not a difficult completion at all, but yeah, once you know about that room trick, honestly, 5 minutes each time, not a problem. So I did a bit more F1 2014 by the looks of it. Actually, I only did one achievement in F1 2014, and that was to qualify last and win the race. So I did that one. I am working on doing the long career achievement, and I really should do a little bit more of that. And as I'm having a 360 month, I may well do, but just one achievement popped in that. Okay, above that is Blind Postman, and this is one of those puzzle games. This one's in 3D, because I'm saying that in a minute because I know I've got a 2D sort of top-down flat 2D version of that sort of puzzle element in a minute. But anyway, Blind Postman is like a puzzle game where you continuously move in a straight line until you hit a wall or an obstacle. You do have to finish all of the levels in the game. The first few levels are nice and easy, and then after that, I must admit, I went, once I had enough, basically I went to the True Achievements guides and just read what the inputs were. So I just had to put the inputs in basically on all the levels to get through that. There are also some miscellaneous things that you will need to do as well. When I did this, by the way, I only had 2000G. There was a surprise 1000G update before I made this video. I'll talk about that in a second. So you will have to do certain things like red walls. That's actually one of the extra achievements I got. So yeah, destroy 5 purple walls, destroy 20 red walls, as well as finish the levels. The only one that could be a bit tricky is speeds to 37. Look up the individual achievement for that on trueachievements.com, because there is a different sort of solution from the original one, if you get my meaning, that makes it much quicker as well. Again, just read the inputs for that, and even with the inputs, you'll have to sort of get a little bit of a routine or a bit of a rhythm going in order to be able to do it in 18 seconds or less. So even though I knew what inputs to do, I think it took me about 3 attempts to actually nail it, because I was getting very close a couple of times, but then eventually I got there. So that's a little bit tricky. But what happened is this was at 2000G, and then when I loaded this up to sort of have a look at all the achievements to sort of prep myself for making this video, 600G just popped without even opening the game up, and that's basically stuff that I've already achieved. So yeah, it gave me 30 letters, 40 mines, destroy 40 white walls and 40 red walls, because I'd already done them, and I didn't even need to open the game for them to pop, which was felt very weird to me. But the ones that didn't unlock are down here, and I'm guessing it's because they've got active progressional bars basically in this game. So teleport 40 times is already 97% done, and when I got the 5 purple walls achievement, that was obviously one of the very last achievements I got. So once that popped, I didn't get any more, because that's exactly at 50%, and obviously that's 10% per wall. So I will have to sort of open this game and play it and quickly pop the last 400G out of this by doing those 2 achievements. But it was quite strange feeling to open this game to check the achievements and then just have a load pop because I'd done that. But anyway, it's I was going to say, with the solutions, it's not a long completion at all. It's quite a quick one. If you use a guide, you can get it done easily in under an hour, perhaps even half an hour. Right, I've got this here, Walking Dead Michonne, episode 1, actually all the episodes. It's just there because there was a Game Pass Quest rewards thing, and I wanted the rewards points, and I had to make one decision in the game. But I will talk about it here just quickly. If you haven't played this game, all of the Walking Dead's up to, excluding the final season, that's got missables. All of the ones except the final season are super easy. They are just literally play through the games and you will get all of the achievements along the way. But the Michonne one is probably the quickest one. Each episode probably take 2 to 3 hours, and I think there's only 3 in it. So you're talking like 9 to 12 hours completion. Big time frame. It all depends on, you know, the decisions you make and the QTEs if you mess up a few times, but it's not difficult at all. It's literally just playing through it. So didn't get any gamer score on there, but there's a bonus completion for you. Okay, so what I said about Blind Postman being 3D puzzle game, well, this is basically a top-down 2D version of Blind Postman in the sense that, yes, it's one of those you endlessly move until you hit a wall or an obstacle. Active Near as a puzzle game is super easy because you can press Y on any puzzle at all, for it to tell you the solution before you have a go yourself. So, I mean, the first few are easy, so you're just, you know, whisk your way through the first few because you won't need any help, and then you get one that you get stuck on and you just want to get going, keep on moving, just press Y, it will show you the full solution, and then it'll give you an idea of what to memorise. And yeah, basically complete all the puzzles. If you look at the thumbnail, there's a picture of a brain. You get an achievement for basically doing all of those. In all of those dots, I think there's 8 puzzles, and every time you do one of the dots, that's an achievement. And then when you do all of them, obviously that's an achievement as well. There's also achievements for doing the miscellaneous things, like teleporting, hitting a dynamite. Basically everything you'll need to do or accidentally do in the game along your way to finishing it. So nothing is too difficult, and because of that Y button feature, we're talking under an hour easily, perhaps even half an hour. You can really smash your way through it. Again, it's an under an hour completion, probably under half an hour, as I say, if you want to use the solution method. If you don't, then expect to take a lot longer if you want to go through it legit. Right, above that, we've got Cake Invaders. Done a little video on this because this is absolutely a little cracking game. You start off as this one little character in the middle, protecting sort of 5 bases side by side at the bottom, which are actually cakes, hence the word Cake Invaders. And then you beat waves of enemies as they come down. As I say, I made a video on this because it's a fantastic game in which I talk about all the achievements in depth. There's a little bit of gameplay at the beginning. In fact, I enjoyed this game so much, so I did the achievements, got the full 1000 in about half an hour, but I've now played this game for an hour longer after that, which is just having so much fun. Had that one more go factor about it, sort of thing. Basically, you've got to get to wave 12. You don't have to beat wave 12, but you have to get to wave 12. You have to do some miscellaneous things while you're shooting, and to be honest with you, if you're going to get far in this game, you kind of need all the power-ups, because you can get sort of up to 4 people helping you at the bottom, and there's an achievement for having 5 of you at the bottom at once. Your middle character doesn't die. Once all your bases are worn down, then she kind of just flops over and it's your game over, because she's not happy that you've lost all your bases, basically. But the only other achievement outside of getting 5 people at the bottom and doing all the miscellaneous things to do with power-ups and shooting things with lasers and stuff like that is to protect just the one base remaining at the bottom for at least 3 waves. So you might have to manufacture that, or you just might get it in your playthrough. It is honestly super easy to do, but if you have a bad rub of the green like I did when I first played it and I didn't read a guide, then you might die and fail before getting into wave 12. But yeah, have a good luck at the draw, get a couple of people helping you, and so there's essentially 2 or even 3 of you firing quite early on. You build it up to the 5 year. Once you got the 5 year, you should get to wave 12, no problem. Once I got to 5 and I was playing it for a bit, I got up to wave 20 something. It's just a really, really fun game. Please do check out the little video that I've done for this game. Right above that is Socco Cat Combo. Now, I heard about a little trick on this one. Again, if you press Y, it sort of creates a ghost cat in front of you and basically tells you where to go next, because this is a little sort of like a top-down isometric puzzle game where you have to push blocks onto certain parts, and obviously again other elements get introduced. There's things in your way. Obviously it's not as the levels progress, they get harder as well. But if you press Y, it tells you where to go next, and you can keep just mashing Y so you know where to go to next and complete the puzzle without a hitch. Or is there a hitch? The first world, you have to complete all 50 levels. You can use that method, no problem, no issues. No, that's absolutely fine. You'll get through it. In the second area, you have to do all the 50 levels again. This other mechanic of getting a boomerang gets brought in, and when you throw the boomerang, you're hitting switches that you can't reach. But unfortunately, the ghost moving technique doesn't tell you when to throw a boomerang. So obviously you can see a switch in front of you and you think that's going to be the moment, but it might not necessarily be the right time, so you might have to do that level again and again until you work out which position you're allowed to be in to actually throw at the switch. Some have only got one place you can do it, some have actually got a couple, but yeah, that wasn't as straightforward as I thought it would be after I'd learnt the method through a little video guide that possibly didn't know that. But it set me up to do it, and it probably took about just over an hour for me to do. But it's an alright puzzle game. It kind of grind on me a little bit, so I was quite happy just to use the solution revealing technique to get my way through it. Okay, above that is F1 2021. Got that finished. I can't remember if I got the full 1000 in this month or spread out over 2 months, but we got the full 1000G in that. There's a bit of online on this. It will technically take you 50 hours, and the reason why I say it will technically take you 50 hours is because the top achievement here, the last one I unlocked, is complete 50 hours of total track time. Now, I must admit, the progressional bars on this are a thing. They do work, and when I've done all of the other achievements, because I was very fortunate to have my good friend Ross of Bohorhor help me by boosting the online so we could get them done in the quickest manner possible. But yeah, the 50 hours will probably be the last achievement you will have left, and when I had it just left, or I honestly, my progressional bar I think was at like 46% or something, and I was like, geez man, that's still a lot of time to go, at least 25 hours. So what I did was went on trueachievements.com, and someone has unearthed a solution in which if you go to time trial, it doesn't work in Grand Prix. I actually tried it in Grand Prix. It only works in time trial. Basically, when you start a time trial, you start off sort of auto driving, and then you'll cross the line and the timer starts. When the timer starts after you cross the line, you can just park up and the time will actually count as track time towards that achievement. It doesn't in Grand Prix mode, but it does if you do it in time trial mode like that. So a few sessions of leaving the Xbox running overnight while I was sleeping, and basically I farmed that out like that. But apart from that, the rest of it you will have to play, obviously. So it's a lot of it is playing through the My Team mode, going through other career modes and things like that. So there's a bit of online to do as well. You need to watch an online race. You could join one that's in progress, but you must watch it actually finish. And again, a lot of stuff to do with My Team and things like that. A lot of the achievements, they're not too bad to work out what to do yourself. The 15 trophies ones, the trophies one was a bit weird, because when you earn a trophy, you have to go into your emails and then claim the trophy and things like that. Honestly, all of the individual guides for this game on TA are absolutely bang on. So if you need any further help, I'd say with this, then please do consult the individual guides on TA. But just be aware that there is a 50 hours track time achievement which you can boost, but the rest of them are probably going to take up 25 hours anyway. Right above that, I'm going to do all three of these in one hit, because these all popped up in the sale for basically half price. They're all PALGI games. You've got Gaps, we've got Wordbreaker, we've got Alpha Set. If you use the text guides, the text walkthrough guides on True Achievements for all of them, it will tell you all the puzzles that you need to go to and the solutions for them. I mean, I started off by doing Alpha Set legit, and then once I'd had enough and got bored, I went on to True Achievements and got the solutions there. And you could do the same for the other two as well. The text walkthroughs on True Achievements are absolutely bang on for this. They'll tell you exactly which puzzle, because on some of them you don't need to do every puzzle, so they'll tell you which puzzle to go to, what to enter and things like that, because there are also miscellaneous achievements. Those text walkthroughs will tell you where to do it as well. So it's absolutely bang on and things like that. So I would recommend that you use the walkthroughs on trueachievements.com. As I say, the text ones, no need to watch a video on them. I would sit those, read, know what you've got to do and get through them, and then you'll get them all done in no time at all. I think Alpha Set took a bit longer because you have to do more puzzles in it, so we'll call that one half an hour to an hour, but use the solution of True Achievements for the other two. Honestly, those were done in no time at all, under half an hour. Okay, above that is Promessa. This is very much a walking simulator, I want to say. Walking simulator with a bit of an interactive story about it, I don't know. But basically you have to do a full playthrough of the game, which isn't difficult because you literally just have to walk through the levels and walk to the door. So it's a bit of a walking simulator with a bit of a story to it apparently. But yeah, that's all you have to do is finish a playthrough. A playthrough, although, will take 45-50 minutes. There's no way of speeding it up. I mean, I say there's no way of speeding it up. You can increase your walking speed to 40% in the options. However, it still takes a long time to get through it. You still walk really slow. So the path that you'll get will be randomly generated, and you won't visit every level. However, once you do one full playthrough, it will open up level select, and the ones that you didn't get will then become open to you to just pop in and do. And it is worth noting that none of your achievements for the areas you will visit will pop until you actually do a full playthrough, unless you pause the game during the level that you're on. So I did that just not to get sort of a worry of the achievements clogging up basically and not all popping at once at the end. I was a bit anxious about potentially having like 7 or 8 achievements all pop at once at the end of the story for visiting all the levels. So every time I entered a new area, I paused and let the achievement pop and then carried on. Then you can, after you've done your playthrough, mop up the levels you're missing. You might then need a guide for the missables. There are 3 missables, but as I say, it's got level select afterwards if you missed a spot, or you may want to watch the guide beforehand like I did, so you know the things of what to look at. Like spot the fruit juice, you need to look at. There's a shirt you need to look at. And then, of course, there's this last one here, which was a little bit tricky. Find the TV in less than 40 seconds. So I'd be tempted to watch a guide just for the missables. You don't really need it for the rest of it. That TV one there is a bit of a bugger because I didn't mean to do that. Oh, back up, please. Excuse me. So, right, that TV one is a bit of a bugger. It's because it's randomly generated within the level. You have to go in the cloud level. As I say, if you watch the guy for the missables, it will tell you that. And the TV is kind of randomly generated. I ended up watching 2 or 3 guys because the last one I watched finally sort of told me a bit of detail that was very important and very helpful to me, and that was if you put a headset on and listen very carefully, you can sort of gauge in which direction the TV will be when you start the level. So hopefully, I mean, if you keep going, keep looking, eventually you'll get the job done, no doubt, but you have to find the TV in less than 40 seconds like it says. Watch all the ads is another thing. There's this TV in front of you when you finish the game. Just make sure you stay and watch it before you walk into it and watch all of the ads. But yeah, I mean, one playthrough, 45-50 minutes, you can't help that. A bit of mopping up, round about the hour mark, probably just a little bit over, but super easy completion nonetheless. Okay, above that is Ride 4. I had a birthday in June. I got older. My good friend Ross of Borhor bought me a download code for Ride 4 as a birthday present for me, which was very greatly received and very, very well appreciated. Didn't have to do that, honestly, mate. Thank you very much. But yeah, we did the Ride 4 online stuff for him as well, because he does own Ride 4, so he got a little bit out of it himself. But I'm super happy to do that for him, and I'm really pleased that he was that kind enough to buy us a game for a big number birthday. So thank you very much, mate. Honestly, genuinely touched. Thank you very much. Right, above that is Lab Crisis. This again, I bought at 1,000. It was updated within the same month to 2,000G. I had the first 1,000G in less than 5 minutes. Basically, you play the first 5 levels, you will unlock all of the base at 1,000G, which is what I did, and then the update got made, which is basically levels 5 to 9. So I had to do level 5 again to make level 5 completed pop. But all of the other achievements before level 5 are for doing random stuff like attaching so many of the scientists, because basically you're a little robot, you connect all these scientists to yourself, and then you basically walk through the door and they all escape to freedom, I guess. So yeah, there's one for getting X amount out of the door in one go, for collecting different colour key cards. That introduces that very early on, but the puzzles are super easy. So you'll get the first 1,000G in about 5 minutes, and then and the puzzles after that aren't too difficult, so another 5 to 10 minutes, 15 minutes max, job done, 2,000G out of the game. Very easy, and it's stackable as well, so you'll see that in a minute. Okay, above that is Dynabomb. It's like a little platformer where you sort of jetpack your way around, boost yourself up by tapping A and all that sort of stuff. You have to find keys to get outdoors and things like that, kill a few enemies, miscellaneous stuff along the way. Not a difficult completion at all, under half an hour easy. The only one that threw me a little bit was the last achievement I unlocked, ironically, easy to use continue. So basically, I didn't realise that you had to have 500 coins to basically unlock this achievement, and you have to die. So when you die and get the option to continue, it costs you 500 coins, but you have to build up 500 coins and then get that. So I didn't know about that, so I went into this game without a guide, and then I was like, why isn't this unlocked? I looked up the solution just for that achievement, and then it told me what to do, and then, oh right, okay, no worries. Yeah, made sure I had 500 coins or crystals or whatever the currency is in the game is, died purposely, and then used to continue by spending the 500 to get back into the game. But apart from that, the game is super easy. It's actually a fun little platformer as well. It won't take you too long. Okay, I had every intention of doing Gorogoa because I had that 200G ages ago, but got frustrated again at not being able to, at using too many moves early on, and then thought, oh, don't worry, I'll do it another day. But anyway, we will get it done. So I own it. I own it anyway, as it being on Game Pass 2, but I do own it, so I can go back to it whenever I want. Right above it, 890B. This is a bit of a, again, it's another one of these walking. No, it's not a walking simulator really. It's sort of a interactive story, I suppose, where you do walk around actually and collect cubes to sort of advance the story and have it tell you story. So you have to walk around and collect the cubes in the correct order basically, which tells you a story. You do have to do 3 mini games along the way. I would suggest a guide for the 3rd mini game where you have to push squares onto other squares basically, but obviously you're limited by walls and pushing things into walls that you shouldn't be and things like that. The other two mini games are super easy. The one's a snake clone, and the first one is basically, I suppose if you don't know, it can be tricky. There's basically a list of words in front of you, and then you have to type them out yourself in that order. But it doesn't tell you have to do that. But again, I watched a quick guide on what to do in this game, and I watched a guide so I know where to go without keep having to wandering around looking for the cubes. I think I used Achievement Ladders one for this as well. That guide will help you get it done in around about half an hour as well. It's another super easy completion, especially, say, use a guide for that third mini game at least, because that one's a bugger. You have to do 4 levels. It doesn't matter if you fail a level. It's unlimited continues, so when you continue, you'll continue from the level that just kills you basically. But yeah, use a guide for that one. Half an hour, job done. Okay, popped a couple of achievements in Lego Rock Band. I want to play through the career in this and get it done, so I just popped a couple in that. I'll probably get a few more of that next month, as I say, having a bit of an Xbox 360 month in July. There's my stack for Lab Crisis on Windows 10, so exactly the same as before. And then above that we have a Winter's Daydream, which got an Xbox Series X upgrade release, separate release. So this game is now stackable. You can buy one version of it if you haven't done it already, and now a Series X version. The one version was my easiest completion of 2019. I even made a little video for it, so please feel free to check that out. However, on this one it's a little bit different. You want to go into settings and set things up, change them, increase text speed and all that sort of stuff, but don't turn autoplay on. Autoplay is one of those things you should be able to turn on to speed it up, so that it progresses through the next screen automatically for you if you should happen to want to wander away or not be mashing A at the time. But it's seemingly turning on bugs the achievements so they don't unlock. So yeah, speed everything up and just be prepared to mash A for half an hour and you will get all the achievements. No alternative paths or anything like that. Literally just a case of getting through the story. Mash A after you've set it all up to speed things up as much as possible. 1000G in around about half an hour, perhaps 25 minutes if you're super quick on the button. But yeah, super easy again. Okay, above that, 50 Cent Blood on the Sand. I managed to collar my good friend Ross Bohr into doing the online with me for this, and online in being you have to be a member of the G unit and complete the game, so you have to be 50 Cent's sidekick. So he's already done the game at 1000 G'd it, so yeah, as I say, I bugged him into to helping me out one night. We did it on easy, absolutely blasted through it in no time at all. Done it over a couple of nights just because limited time and all that sort of thing. So, but yeah, do you know what, this is just such a mindless, fun sort of third person cover based shooter. It really is just mindless fun, especially on easy, and you're not dying. You just go around, dual pistoling people and assault rifles with sights on and things like that. Absolute, just so much fun. So we're set up to get the completion without having to worry about the online now. So thanks again, Ross. Thank you very, very much. So above that, TMNT Shredders Revenge hit Game Pass. I was going to be all over this, so I got the completion, and I've played this even a ton after completing it as well. It's an absolutely beautiful side-scrolling beta. What a game. Going to be one of my contenders for Game of the Year already, I can tell you that now. So we'll pop in and we'll talk about the entire completion on this, because there's a couple of achievements giving people a bit of jip, but at the same time it's not too bad actually if you know a couple of tricks. So we'll go through them in order. So I did do a story mode playthrough on the very first night I got it. I did stream that on Twitch, and obviously some of them you'll get naturally by accident because some of the achievements aren't too difficult, they just happen, and some of them are story mode progressional. So like these story mode ones here at the bottom, you can't get an arcade mode, it has to be in story mode, even though technically you're going through the same levels. So there we go, that's the story mode one. A and B does a super attack, you finish a boss off with it, you'll unlock that achievement. Throw 16 enemies towards the camera. I was aware of that one, so I was actually going for that one very early on. If you grab the enemy by walking into them and then press down and X, you throw them at the screen. There is a boss later on in the game in which that will speed up beating the boss, so you'll probably get that one done anyway, but it's not a difficult achievement to do at all. The taunt is the right bumper, the RB, so press RB and taunt and get hit while you're doing it by an enemy. You'll unlock that one, not difficult at all. That is a story mode progressional one, as is that. Deflect 10 projectiles, again just done by accident. If you're going to be playing a ton of this game in order to get all of the achievements, that will probably happen. The minigame in Coney Island in story mode, you'll come to this bit in Coney Island where you can pump up a balloon by hitting the plunger that goes up and down to sort of inflate it, and if you do that in the time that pops up in the middle of the screen to at least one balloon, you'll unlock that achievement. Not difficult at all. 20? I wish it was 20. 200 breakable objects, going to happen naturally in all the playthroughs that you'll need to do. I'll be surprised if it doesn't. As will be eating 20 pizzas. Different collectibles means the different type of collectibles. As you'll see in that thumbnail there, you've got a book, you've got a tape, you've got a bug. There are 5 different ones. They're sort of different at different stages of the game. I think you have to find 5 of each different anyway. So they're 5 different with 5 of each different. You will have to find all of those to get the achievement. But if you hover over level before you go into it in story mode, it will say how many out of how many are in the level, and then you'll know. So it could say you've got 3 out of 5, so you know you need 2 in that level somewhere. But if you absolutely smash everything from doors that are in the background to every oil drum or box that you see in the level, you should find without much difficulty, and then you will need to take them to the people on the map. Story mode progression, story mode, and completing story mode. Play as Casey Jones. You do unlock him once you've beaten story mode, or actually you can unlock him if you get to join somebody who's playing the last level in story mode. Because I actually invited someone to my game when I went in the last level and they hadn't even played story mode. When they finished that level, they got awarded Casey Jones despite not actually playing through the story mode. But yeah, if you play through the story mode, you will unlock Casey Jones. Then just play as him, easy enough. Perform a 250 hit string combo. Now I did work out how to do this in level 5. Just by learning the level and using power-ups at the right time. However, I did unearth a nice method where if you play through the game, got level select, you can go straight into level 14 with April O'Neil and get a rock guy trapped in an infinite parry in a certain spot. I've made a video for this specific achievement using that trick, so please do check that video out. It will show you the spot and the fact that you have to mash X and A. It'll tell you that move to do that move in the right spot, and you can get that achievement really easy. There are other methods that people have discovered. There's about 5 different guides on trueachievements.com, so you might want to check them all out and try multiple ones if you're struggling with one method. But yeah, I found a little method to infinite parry with April on level 14. As I say, I actually found that method because I played a ton of this game after I got the 1000G. As you'll see, I got it way before the end of the game there. So once you've got Casey Jones, if you cheer up Raphael while playing as Casey Jones, you will unlock that achievement. Now, you cannot be Casey Jones and try and high-five someone online, but you can set it up yourself with 2 controllers in a private game and do it yourself. And if you cheer up a teammate 3 times in a single stage, we'll unlock that one as well. So that one's a nice and easy thing. And I tell you what, I did this, I played a lot of multiplayer as well, and just did that by accident. So you'll probably do it by accident as well if you play a lot of multiplayer. Complete any stage of multiplayer, self-explanatory, nice and easy. Revive a teammate in multiplayer, you'll do that a lot as well. You have to, when they're downed and the pizza timer is spinning around their head, just press LB near them and you'll revive them. Complete arcade mode in multiplayer. You can actually drop in a game that's near the ending, and that will count as you complete the arcade mode in multiplayer, and it also count when you want to do it in 1 credit as well. That's coming up in a minute. Defeat Super Shredder without being hit. Now, you can join a game as he's exploding. It has to be as he's exploding, not a moment before. Even if you haven't brought your character in while trying to select him at the top, not a moment before. You have to literally be joining the game as he's exploding, and then the achievement will unlock. Now, I got lucky after a few tries of joining in people's games that's where I joined it and it pops. But I've since worked out that you can do this 2-player with a little bit of help from your friend, basically. So whoever's not going for the achievement will start the level 16 in story mode. Whoever is going for the achievement will hang back and wait for your command. Beat the statue lady at the beginning, and then you're on to Super Shredder. Get Super Shredder down to 1 hit. Pause the game, send a request to your friend to join your game. Hit him. Tell your friend to join the game after you've hit him and he's exploding. So he'll join the game as he's exploding. He'll pop the achievement. We tried this once and we nailed it. Me and Ross. I got the achievement for Ross. So there is a way of actually manufacturing that rather than just trying to get lucky online if you've got a boosting partner to do that with. Right, level 5, be Splinter, defeat the boss in it. That's that achievement. And like I said earlier, drop in right towards the end of arcade mode, nearest towards the end. You can lose lives, just don't use a continue. You'll get that achievement. Final cameos in story mode. So once you find all of the collectibles, cameos, they're characters that are hiding behind like cardboard cutouts and things like that, again behind doors and all that. So just make sure you smash everything. It's not going to be hard to find. The levels will tell you how many you found, secrets you found before you go into a level. It includes cameos in that figure. Complete all the special quests in story mode. So once you've got all of the hidden items, you go onto the map to a person that will then complete the special request by taking all of the collectibles that person wants you to find to them. It's not difficult. See all different endings in story mode. Obviously you've done your story mode playthrough. You can then start up the last level with every character that you haven't had the ending for, and as long as you finish that last level with them and you've got the ending for them, that will count. So you don't have to play through the game 7 times, you can just do that. Complete Arcade on the hardest difficulty, that is gnarly difficulty. You could try and join a game online that's near the end and hope it's in gnarly difficulty. Unfortunately, the game doesn't tell you what difficulty people are playing at, but you can get lucky. I mean, if you join the game and everybody is on sort of like 3 lives or less, if everyone's on 5 lives and more, then you know it's on the easiest setting. The middle setting in gnarly, you start with 3 lives, and if they're on gnarly, keep an eye on their power bar. If it jumps down 2 blocks every time they get hit, they're on gnarly. If it goes down 1 block and they've got 3 lives, so they've all got 3 lives, then you know it's on the middle level. So, and then you can hope to join a game later on. It's very difficult to find a game later on. However, I have found a trick in which you can technically boost this on your own with multiple controllers. Start a game, by the way, this could take up to 4 hours. By the way, start a game on your own, have 2 other controllers ready to go. And when you die with your main profile, don't use continue, press start on another one before you die, get that controller in, carry on with that one. As I say, have multiple controllers to your side so you can always quickly press start and get somebody in. But as long as somebody's in the game and your main profile hasn't died, then you're good to go. But what you can do with those other controllers, the guest controllers as such, is you can press start at any time, leave the game with that controller, not your main profile, and then join it again with that controller, basically refreshing your lives. But as long as you see, when I did it, I accidentally used continues, but my main profile was still alive with game over written at the top. But I was keeping myself alive with 2 other controllers, basically, and playing through the game. Yes, it increases the spawn rate of enemies, but at the same time, you've got the security of not dying. So basically, as long as your guest controllers are alive and your main profile hasn't signed out, you haven't left the game with your main profile, you'll unlock the achievement for beating at the hardest difficulty. I hope I've explained that well. It's quite hard to explain a little bit, but if you've got any questions about any game, you can put it in the comment section below. And then you got to bring all characters to max power level in story mode, which is basically get every character up to level 10. Level 5 in story mode is your friend. The mama mouses spawn baby mouses infinitely as long as they haven't been killed. So I just did that on level 5. A little tip to do it again, if you've got multiple controllers, bring in a second controller and have it come along with you for the ride almost as such in that level, because then it will increase the spawn rate as well. And of course, you're increasing the spawn rate and only having one player killing all the little baby mouses, then obviously that's going to help you speed it up. But that singular level there is very good for you. In fact, I'd say when you get to the boss, just leave map and restart the level. And of course, once you get to level 10, back out, change your character, go again. But as I say, have another sort of controller bringing a character along to increase the spawn rate of the enemies, and then just keep killing mouses until you accidentally kill the mama mouser. 3 times within level 5 mama mousers appear. So once you've done the 3rd bit, which is almost coming down a little bit, then you're onto the boss, just leave map and start again. But that's how I managed to grind up the levels in that. But anyway, we spoke about that game in depth just because it's an awesome game, and a couple of the achievements there you might want to tip on. Anyway, back to the others. Let's go. Come on, load up. There we go. Right. So above that is Castle of No Escape. Now, this had an update ages ago from 3,000 to 4,000. I just hadn't done it. So I did the 1,000 that was missing on that. It was to be the special character which you can't see on the screen. All you've got to do is press the right trigger. You visit every square on a stage. Beat every enemy on a level. On a stage, I suppose. It's basically on one floor. That's the word. It's on one floor. Beat every enemy on one floor. Visit every square on one floor. Fall down a hole while blind and things like that. The individual achievements for all of these is brilliant. I didn't know the trick about beating an enemy by just, I think it's mashing LB or left trigger, and it does quite a powerful move. Some enemies you finish in one hit, some you finish in a couple. So yeah, every time you come in a fight, just mash that one button. Check the individual solution on TA for that achievement for beating every enemy on a floor. But yeah, super easy 1,000. Honestly, it took about another 5 minutes of my life to get that done. I don't know why I didn't do it earlier. Okay, a respectable completion above that one. This one will take a good 20 to 25 hours. Play for all of the events in historic mode. There are a lot of them. This game does have some online, so you will need to find a boosting partner. And thank you again, Ross, for suffering this game for whatever time it is for you, mate. But yes, you will have to get 20 online races completed. Unfortunately, the achievements for the online is a little bit buggy / misleading, because we did it one night. We did about 15 races, but just a private match between the two of us. I was even winning, and after I did 15, it only recorded 3 of them for some reason. So I read the achievements. Apparently, you had to do it with AI, but we didn't realise you also had to finish in the top 6 for it to count nearly every time. And then once I did 20, it actually took one off me next time I logged in, and one of the achievements is to gain all titles in the game, and one of the titles is to play 20 online. So the online, and this is buggy, you will need to find a boosting partner, but as long as you do it with AI switched on, you can turn the AI down to very easy, finish in the top 6, then every time you win or every time you finish in the top 6, it should actually register it for you. But you'll have to do all the historic events. If you turn the AI down to the easiest possibly, honestly, the races are absolutely a piece of, they're that easy. But the only thing I did struggle with is the time trials, and this are a little bit brutal, because you will have to get a bronze medal on every event at least. That's finishing in the top 3 if it's a race, overtaking X amount of cars in one bikes in another challenge. But the time trials, obviously you have to achieve, there's a gold, a silver and a bronze time, and every bronze time I did by hundredths of a second, never by a lot. They were tough. So yeah, unless you're very skilled at driving games, motorbike games, then they might not be a problem to you. But I've read online through True Achievements actually that a lot of people are struggling with time trials, and some of the people are giving you tips to balance the bike out, but I was able to do it without balancing the bike out. That sort of stuff confuses me a little bit, but I was able to get the time trials done. They were pretty much bronze every one. Everything else I was able to get gold on, super easy. But if you like your bike games, it's not awful, I suppose, but there's certainly a lot better out there at the same time. But yeah, be prepared, even with a boosted partner, to get those online ones done. 20 to 25 hours easily. It's a long old game. There's a lot of races, and each lap is each race is at least 3 laps, and a lot of the laps take 2 minutes. A quick lap is 1 minute 40. So yeah, a lot of time needed in that. But you'll pop quite a few straight away, quite early on, I will be honest with you. Nothing there, just working towards the level 50 achievement. We'll leave it at that. Pac-Man Museum done again. This hit Game Pass. I've done a lot of the random stuff. I think I played every game. I put decorate my arcade with certain things, put a certain amount of cabinets on the floor, a certain amount of decorations on the floor, and things like that. So yeah, I've done a lot of easy achievements in that. Put a few hours into Pac-Man Museum Plus. That's not going to be an easy 1000G unless you're a bit of a Pac-Man master, to be honest with you, because some of the sort of goals you have to achieve within games are a bit tough. And I find personally that there seems to be a bit of an input lag with it. I don't know why. It doesn't seem as polished as it should be. But it's, I don't mind a bit of casual Pac-Man every now and again, so I'm just dipping into it, trying to pull a few achievements out of it. Right, Microsoft Solitaire Collection. I finally got the achievement for doing at least one of the daily challenges every day. I didn't realise you don't have to necessarily do them on the day. In fact, you can pop back to a month whenever. It's got a calendar option. You can just pop back to whatever. So I've done one every day of June. I've been working on a lot of the puzzles, so hopefully I can do it every daily challenge achievement in by doing all the daily challenges in June, because there's 5 on each day. I've done a few of them every day, every 5 on every day, but yeah, this is going to take a lot of work. And then finally, I don't really have to talk about those two, but finally SBK09. So yep, I bugged Ross again, bugged him a lot to do online achievements in June, but yeah, asked Ross if he wouldn't mind doing SBK09 online for me. I've crept into July, I must be honest with you. Been very busy right at the end of the month, so I crept into July and done a few of the career mode achievements as well, but I'll talk about this a little bit more in depth. But we've done the online on that. We've done a little bit of career, and probably spent about an hour with the game so far, but it's not going to be an easy completion. There's some professional level stuff which is going to be beyond me, but I'm going to play through the career at least 3 times for one achievement, and do certain things with certain riders as well for other achievements. But it's a good bike game actually. The bike sticks to the track quite well compared to other games that I played recently. I played a lot of bike games lately. But above that, it's just Plants vs Zombie Battle for Neighbour. That's the one that I've got the achievement set up. I keep opening that up to pop the daily reward for playing a Game Pass game, so that's why that's always going to end up near the top. And Smart Moves 2 is always going to be near the top as well, because that's the game I use to get reward points for playing a PC game every day. And that, by the way, Smart Moves 2 is super easy. It's literally open X amount of chests, kill X amount of snakes. So find a good level, never get past that level. Just open chest, kill snakes, die. Open chest, kill snakes, die. And yeah, just find a good level to do that on, and you're set for life with that game. Expect the next game update probably to be open even more chests and kill even more snakes. But yeah, it's just there. Bonus one that I keep mentioning, but it's just there because, I say, using it for award points. And that is it. Spoke about Shredder's Revenge a lot there, which made this video quite long. So if you enjoyed that, then thank you very much for listening through. If this update has helped you get any completions or any achievements, or if you just enjoyed listening to my waffle, please do hit a thumbs up. That would be awesome, massively appreciated. And if you're new to the channel and you've suffered through this video and listened to it all, then please do consider subscribing. I will love you for it. I do love all my current subscribers as well. But finally, thank you very much for listening to me go on for quite a while. And as always, please do take care.